Coffee Monday is more than a podcast. It's a movement to reshape the way we approach Mondays and the week ahead. It's about embracing the reality that work doesn't have to dominate our lives. It's about finding that sweet spot where passion, purpose, and a cup of motivation connect. Filmed and recorded in California's Central Valley, join me, your host, Ray Pardini-Matson, as I invite thriving professionals to share their stories of how they're crafting a life that's both vibrant and balanced. Cassie Yoshikawa, I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me.
World traveler, blogger, all of it. I want to hear it all. I first stumbled upon your page on Instagram for my Explore feed. And I was like, whoa, this girl is awesome. She's not only showing the cool things of the Fresno area, but you like rep Fresno. You like say you love Fresno. And I just am here for that. Obviously, big fan and love people that are able to support the community in that way. So I find your story very unique and cool and would love to share with our listeners because you're not originally from here.
I'm not.
Yeah. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I did not grow up in Fresno. I came here 7-ish years ago.
Okay.
So I was military, so I kind of moved around a lot, but mostly grew up in Colorado and then went to school in Oklahoma, hung out there for a while. So moved to Fresno from
Oklahoma. What was that like? Like the reality of that, right? No friends, no family here.
Yep, no.
Came here for your husband's job opportunity, which is amazing. And what was that like?
Yeah, no support out here, just kind of ready for the adventure. But
yeah,
I personally didn't want to stay in Oklahoma. And California was always kind of the dream. I feel like if you're not from California, you don't understand that California is just like the golden state.
Totally. Yeah.
It was kind of a dream to let's just get there. Let's just get to California. And then coming to Fresno, didn't really know about Fresno,
Yeah.
That's
most people don't.
Yeah, you don't know. It's like, that's not a city that you know of California.
Yeah.
So didn't really know about Fresno when we got here.
Yeah.
But fell in love with it after a while. So.
You did.
Yes.
And you just decided to embrace it. Like, we're here for it. And I don't even know where to begin. I'm just fascinated with how beautifully you document everything. Locally, day trips, all of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been there and it doesn't, it does look like that. But you know what I mean? How did this idea of creating content and sharing your experiences with people, how did that start?
I started when I moved here. I had to leave my job, so I was looking for a job, and that's how I discovered travel blogging in the first place. So I was like, well, since I'm between jobs, I'll just teach myself that. And it was just like a fun little thing to do. And then that kind of drove, okay, well, I need to actually go do things. Mm-hmm. And that's how I started discovering more and more this isn't too far away. This isn't too far away. Let's just go do it. So that's kind of how it started.
Wow. So you started with the blog.
Yes.
Which I love that you're still rocking the blog. Yeah. I feel like I love that that's still a thing. Mm-hmm. How do you divide your time between creating all this content on Instagram and other social platforms? You said YouTube.
Yes.
Sometimes on TikTok, right?
Trying to be all the places.
I know. And write about it. I feel like obviously there's a lot of time and thought that goes into the writing part of a blog.
It does. Yeah. And doing it in a way that Google likes and all the things. Mm-hmm. But I just kind of do what I can. And I feel like the adventure kind of drives the content. I really need, people need to know about this. They need to have more resources on this. So that's when I'll put it out there.
That's so cool. How have you decided where you go? How do you hear about these places? You know what I mean?
I'll follow, other travel bloggers or Instagram, just get inspired.
Yeah.
And then also I will just zoom in and out of maps and I'm like, this looks like an inch. What is it? What is it? And then I'll Google it and then I'll just find more information on it and then
wow.
Go out.
Just go. Mm-hmm. Just go. And your husband is your photographer.
Photographer.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah. He wasn't originally. I kind of forced him into it.
Babe, you're doing this. Just kidding. He does a great job. Yeah.
Yeah. And he made a little side business out of it.
Oh, so, amazing.
Yeah. So he's pretty good at it. But I tell him I did this for you. I made you. Which I did. I made him. Because I wanted this photo isn't good enough. You need a better camera, you know.
Yeah. And you need to be able to capture it.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're in them, obviously, guiding people in the videos. So it's like, how does that, I wondered that for a while. Like, how does that work? Who's filming what? And then obviously you guys are cute about doing like some behind the scenes stuff.
It's
selfies.
A combo. Like he'll do it, I'll do it. Well, do all the things.
I love it. Do you remember where your first day trip was after you visited Fresno or moved here?
I think it was the Sequoias. Yeah, Sequoia National Park.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we first went.
That's a beautiful one. Yeah. Also one I feel like as a local Fresnan, we take for granted.
There's so many people who've lived, like born and raised here, who've not been.
Never been. Isn't it mind-blowing? It's actually embarrassing. I mean, come on, guys. We live so close to places like that, Yosemite.
Yes.
So many amazing, beautiful spots. And we just don't go outside of our bubble sometimes. So I appreciate you kind of bursting that bubble a little bit to be able to open people's eyes more to those things.
Yes. And then when I first moved here, it was like in Oklahoma, like places like Oklahoma, you can't do that. Like you can't just go 3 hours and get to the beach. You can't just go 2 hours and get to the mountains. Like you have to, it takes more planning and investment to like have these fun adventures. Whereas here, you just drive there.
So true.
Drive back.
And exactly. And it's not too bad. It's not too far. Weekend trip, one night, even like you said, day trip. So you're doing a series right now, 11 days, 11 day trips, right?
Yes.
11 day trips in 11 days, something to that.
11 days and day trips from Fresno.
So fun.
Give the summer planning ideas. So
I love that.
Yes.
So for those that are in the midst of a summer rut at this point and are looking for something fun to do, maybe escape the heat depending on where you're going.
Yeah.
Check out at Cassie's Compass on Instagram, right? Do you have them on your blog too?
I do have them on my blog.
Okay.
Yes. And on a map as well. But it's just like fun ideas to like, you know,
cool.
If you feel like there's nothing to do, hey, there's just get out of Fresno a little bit. There's a lot of cool things. And that's what kind of started, I think, my Instagram journey for most people. They found me was last year. I did a similar series. I did 30 days from Fresno. So
oh, wow.
There's a lot of places.
There's a lot. Oh, so another thing I saw on your blog is so cool. There's these maps. So you have like a Fresno map. You have a day trip map.
Yes.
That's amazing. Are all of these travels like recommendations on the map?
Yes. So since the 7 years I've been here, I put the pins on one Google map.
Oh, cool.
And then I've organized it by distance from Fresno because that's where I live. So there's like things to do in Fresno, things to do within 30 minutes of Fresno, under 2 hours from Fresno. And then to me, 3 hours is the day trip max. So then things to do up to 3 hours.
I agree with that. I've done like LA in a day and that was exhausting.
Yeah, LA's a little
with the traffic and stuff. But like Central Coast, I see you've done those. Those are great.
Yeah.
Obviously, that is like, I think one of the biggest selling points of Fresno is, to your point, you can literally go to the mountains, the lake, the beach.
Yes.
The list keeps going.
And I did
places.
I did the snowboard and surf in one day.
Stop it.
Yeah. So that's like the goal of like coming to California. Like people do that all the time, which they don't. But,
oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah. Was that water freezing?
It was. I had to do like the wetsuit because, you know, there's still snow in the mountains.
Where did you surf?
Just in Pismo.
In Pismo. I love it. And then ski China Peak or where?
Yep. Went from China Peak in the morning to Pismo that afternoon.
That's amazing.
That's fun.
So when you're having conversations with your husband of like planning trips, you're just like, okay, this is what I want to do.
He's like, here we go.
He's like, here we go. Is he along for the ride or is he like, Cassie, what are you doing?
A little both. Like, he's embraced it. Just like he's embraced the photography thing. Like he's like, okay, this is what we love to do. He's cool. You know, we get to do cool things. I just kind of drive
drive it. Yeah. So cool. So tell me about some of your favorite local places to Fresno.
Favorite local places, I think the Old Town Trail is one of them.
Okay.
And just the fact that it connects, you know, from Old Town all the way up to Woodward Park, is just really cool.
And it's really cool.
Anyone can get out there. It's so peaceful. Most of it's away from traffic. So,
are you a runner?
Not really.
Really, I mean either. But you could walk. You could just enjoy, right?
Yeah, I'm the walker. Walking on the trail.
Me too.
And then in Woodward Park, another favorite is the Friendship Garden, the Japanese garden. It's like you leave Fresno when you go in there.
I know, it's true. That is a spot where you can really escape, I feel.
And a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah. I agree. I know. When I'm driving my navigation on my car, it literally says the Friendship Garden on there, like as a destination. I'm like, that's so cool. I don't know. Like, again, things that we just take for granted that are right in our backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool. I saw you did it was almost like a train track situation. Yes. What was that? Where was that? I was like, this is cool.
That's over in Monterey. And then
what was it?
On a rail bike.
Okay.
So the people who own this company, they engineered and built these bikes. So it's like a bicycle that sits on the railroad, and you just pedal like you would a bike, and you're riding along the railroad track. And their track is like right on the coast, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, it looked beautiful.
Yeah, and it's electric assisted, so it's not.
So again, how did you even find this? Like, how did you find it?
That one I found on Instagram. I saw someone else do it.
You're like, hey, this is so cool.
It's not too far away. Let's go do it. Yeah.
See, I think it's very cool how you can find so much cool information on Instagram. Like, it really is, most of the time, in my experience, educational.
Yeah.
Like, you're learning new things. You're discovering new places. Like, there's a lot of positive to it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So, kind of taking a step back too, I want to talk about your focus on your faith and talk more about that, because I think that's super special and very unique to you and your mission. And when I was learning more about you, it said on your blog, it said you discovered God in college, right? Was that correct?
Yeah.
2014-ish? Okay.
Yes.
If you don't mind sharing that story.
Yeah, I didn't grow up a Christian. So when I first discovered travel blogging, I was like, I want to do something different, because not all of it, I think, aligns with the faith that I had found. So for me, like, travel and my faith is really connected, because that's how I experience God the easiest, is out in nature or out in a new country and seeing like all the people he's created. So I really wanted to keep my blog tied to that.
That's a conscious decision, right?
Yes.
Which is admirable and very cool.
Yep.
But also probably hard. You know, like, I saw your description. Like, was it easy? No. You know, but good for you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how do you share that? I mean, you share that through your blog. You share that through your content, right? But I liked your approach that, like, it's not your typical sort of missionary type travel that you would think, right? Yes. So how do you describe it to people?
Yeah. When I say Christian travel, I think that is what people first think of, is like going on like a mission trip or like a religious like church tour, which those are great. I've done those as well. But to me, it's everything. Like, even the like the Hawaii beach vacation, like that can be Christian travel too, because it's all, you know, again, it's all part of God's creation. And I felt convicted about that when I did first start, because when I would go on vacations, you know, you want to escape everything, leave it all behind, including like the Sunday routine, going to church. But then getting there, like, that's the most beauty, and like, I guess the most open your eyes can be is when you see, you know, nature and you're ready to escape. And like, that's where God is. That's his presence as well. So just keeping that in mind and being mindful of that. Like, he's everywhere. And I think that's helped me. You mentioned like making destinations look fun, is like, well, I do genuinely find them fun, because like, this is God's creation. Like, even seeing the people do these creative small businesses, like that's like a manifestation of God and his creation, created ones like creating other things. So just seeing the beauty in that, it kind of opens your eyes to like, you know, even the valley here. This is God's creation. It's beautiful here too.
It is so beautiful. So beautiful. I know my girls the other day, I don't even know where we were. We were talking about something and they were asking me, who made these people?
Ooh, good question.
Like, oh, we're going to have a serious chat right now. And we started talking about the concept of God and faith, and they don't go to a Christian school or anything. And we we try to support them with that, and they're still super young, but it's just sweet. I love to see your travels through your lens and just seeing the true beauty and simplicity of everything. So
yeah, I do think it lends, just a different lens. And like, even once you see people as God's creation, like when you go to crowded touristy places, like that's God's creation. Like the person with a selfie stick is God's creation too. Like, so there's just more to appreciate perspective.
When you have that perspective. Yeah.
Hey, coffee lovers, whether you're going on a road trip or just chilling by the pool, one thing is for sure, everything's better with the Dutch Bros coffee in hand. This summer, cool off in an epic way at Dutch Bros with their returning favorite, Mango Nata Rebel, and their exciting new drinks, Churro Freeze and Watermelon Freeze. Now until June 30th, while supplies last, treat yourself to the Mango Nata Rebel, which is their energy drink topped with strawberry fruit and a hint of tahini. It's the perfect blend of sweet, tangy, and a little spicy. Their Watermelon Fizz is a refreshing watermelon-infused sparkling water with strawberry fruit and a splash of lemonade. It's the ultimate thirst quencher for those hot days. And don't forget about the Churro Freeze. It's a delightful blend of caramel coffee with a cinnamon sugar soft top and churro bits. It's like dessert and coffee in one. Perfect for a sweet escape. So however you're chasing the sun, make sure to swing by Dutch Bros and elevate your summer vibes. And don't forget to follow them on Instagram at Dutch Bros Fresno for all of their fun updates. The beautiful floral centerpiece you see on our shows is styled by floral artist Darcy Hovsepian of DH Floral. And the flowers themselves are actually grown and sourced from local flower farms right here in our Central Valley, thanks to the creation of the San Joaquin Flower Collective. As the first and only source for 100% locally grown flowers in the valley, the San Joaquin Flower Collective's biggest mission is to reduce the need for imported flowers for flower growers and lovers alike. By streamlining the ordering process with an online shopping experience, prioritizing collaboration over competition, and raising awareness for our local flower movement through weekly flower pop-ups on Wednesdays from 10 to 12, they're changing the way farm-grown flowers are bought and sold in the valley. As a wholesaler, a retailer, or just a flower lover, you can follow along at SJ Flower Collective on Instagram for their latest happenings and info on their weekly Wednesday Fresh Bloom pop-ups.
So cool. So we've talked a lot about local travel. I love your favorite Fresno spots. Definitely going to add those to the list. I've been to them, but to your point, like revisiting them, I think would be great.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite kind of day trips from Fresno?
Day trip? My favorite that I'm excited to go back this summer is this place called Moaning Caverns in Vallecito.
Never heard of it. Love this.
Yes. And I found it just by like zooming in on a map. I was like, what is that?
I love it.
Well,
in your spare time.
Yeah. I'm just like zooming in. That's what I'm doing instead of Pinterest. And I like,
wow, that's amazing.
But yeah, you can just go down.
Where is it?
Feet. It's up. You go past Merced a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of on the way to Tahoe.
Okay. Okay.
But not too far, from here to 2 hours, 45 minutes.
I was going to say about 2 hours. Yeah. Okay.
And you're just driving through the hills and you wouldn't think anything of it. And then you turn off in this little dirt road to this dirt parking lot to this little sign in the ground, this little shack. And then they take you down into this cave.
To what? Into the cave? Into a cave?
The largest cavern in California. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Wow. So what's in the cave? Is it just like a cool underground experience?
A little bit. Like, it's not good for people with claustrophobia, but you kind of go to
disclaimer.
Yeah. This like skinny little staircase into like it opens up into a big cavern. And then they have a 100-year-old 10-story iron staircase that came from like a ship or something that they somehow got down there. I don't know how they got it down there. Yeah. So then you can take that another 10 stories down, deeper into the cave.
Wow.
And then if you want, you can even like go spelunking from there, which I didn't do, but I kind of want to go back this summer.
Like, I kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
Wow. If you're still thinking about it, you're definitely going to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just crazy that something like that is not too far away.
Yeah.
And you would not think about it. Just
it's kind of off the radar, right? Mm-hmm. There was another place, a spa that you went to, Rush Creek. Yes. I've heard of it, never been. Looks magical.
Yeah, they do day passes, so you don't have to stay at the resort.
I saw that you said that. I was like, wait, what? That's a thing?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Amazing.
Yes. And then you're in the beautiful mountains, and then they have this gorgeous hot tub and
so cool.
These like zero gravity chairs. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Have you ever done the auto camp at Yosemite?
Yes.
How was it?
Yes.
I've never stayed in one of those.
It's nice. And they it feels the closest to being in a hotel, I think, that you can get when you're still camping.
Yeah.
Like you have to make your own meals on the campfire and stuff. But
yeah. But like still can have
the bathroom's nice.
Like,
yeah. The bed's nice. Yeah.
So cool. Okay. So what was the name of the place you just said by Merced?
Moaning Caverns.
Moaning Caverns.
Moaning Caverns.
Okay. So that's on the list.
Okay.
What else? What about if you want to escape the heat?
If you want to escape the heat.
Might be kind of hard.
Well, the coast. Yeah, the coast. There's always the coast. Mm-hmm. There's Monterey and then rail biking.
Yeah, that was that on the list.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah. And that's like a bucket list thing, like such a creative.
Did I see you were in like a sidecar wine tasting? Was that here though?
No, that was in Paso.
That was in Paso.
Mm-hmm. So
wow.
On motorcycles.
Yeah. What winery?
A vintage wine car. It's at Cass Winery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, Cass.
Okay.
And Third Wheel Tours, they take you wine tasting and you just sit there with the wind blowing your hair. Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess I just would never think to do that. Been to Paso. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. You can do lots of things in Paso, like archery, like beekeeping. There's some wild things there.
Wild. Yeah. What's the craziest thing you've done, like experience wise? And it doesn't have to be local. Anywhere.
I think, ziplining down rainforest.
Yeah.
Like
that's cool. Yeah, really cool.
I've gone ATV in Morocco in the Sahara Desert. That was cool.
Wow, so cool.
That was fun.
So cool.
Yeah.
So we said 12 countries you've been to?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
So you said you kind of grew up traveling all over, kind of.
Yeah. So moved around.
Yeah.
But then my parents were in the military, so they traveled. They were like all over the world, stationed different places. Mm-hmm. So hearing their stories kind of like inspired me. Like I always wanted to do that.
So that's so cool. I was wondering if that was a part of kind of your why. Yes. So did you go to other countries when you were young, or have you done that as an adult?
I was born in Germany.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's where my parents were stationed, and then came stateside, and then didn't travel abroad again until I was in college. And that's kind of like where I found my faith as well. So then immediately I like go on this study abroad trip to Italy, and it just opens eyes to like, God's creation, how he's everywhere, not just in your church context. So.
Love that. Okay, so favorite country, favorite way. Talk to me about some of your favorite travels abroad.
It has to be Japan. We just went to Japan.
I saw it. It looked amazing.
Yeah, when people ask my favorite, that's my favorite for sure. Japan.
I mean, it looked amazing. The food, the experiences, the culture, everything.
Yes.
So cool.
Yes.
I have a friend going there this summer with kids.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
So
they're actually very
excited.
Family. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very respectful and like
great.
Family oriented. So
yeah, I know. I was thinking that a lot of your travels, with the exception of maybe the sidecars.
Yeah, maybe not. Do not mind tasting.
Seem like they could be fine for kids, like family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I would love a family friendly map.
Oh yes,
like guide of some sort.
Yes,
because that's just the stage of life that I'm in.
That's a good idea.
And truly, most things. I appreciate families and parents just kind of doing it, regardless of if it's like meant for kids. Yeah. But that would be fun.
Oh, that's a great idea. We don't have kids yet.
Yeah. I know.
I still find like the family friendly things, they're still fun to do. Even with kids. So
yeah, they are. So cool. So what do you think? What's next? You mentioned, we kind of briefly discussed, and I want to hear more about your opportunity for group travel. Yes. That's huge.
Yes. That's the next thing.
That is huge. So tell me how that came about and what people can expect from that.
Yeah, it's always been on, my dream list, like, moving to group travel, leading group trips. So
yeah,
I'm working with a company where we kind of like surveyed my audience and they voted on a destination, and it turns out we're going to Greece. So yes. So next summer 2025, we're going to Greece.
Amazing.
Yes. End of June, beginning of July next year.
Wow. And you've been?
I've been to Greece.
Yeah. So you said you had a hand in curating the itinerary.
Kind of the favorite things from Athens and Santorini, which is where I stayed. And yeah, I'm excited to show other people.
Amazing. So you said there's 24 spots, right?
Yes, 24 spots.
Which I feel like that's going to fill out fast.
You're
like, I hope so.
Yeah.
I think it will. And I've never been on a group travel experience. How does that work? Do you all literally get there together, like fly together, that sort of thing? Or no?
Not for this one. It'll be kind of flights on your own, so you can choose if you want, sometime before or after. But once we get there, it won't just be me. The company I'm working with has also a local guide. So investing into, someone who lives there, works there, speaks the language, and can give us all the behind the scenes things. And then I really wanted the itinerary to be pretty flexible. So we'll have, set things that I know are cool that I've done before, and then have free time where, we're available to advise you. But if you want to go do something that's not on the itinerary, go do it. Yeah. Or just hang out with me. We can go do something else. So, yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
Sounds like a dream.
Yes. So I'm super excited.
And I feel like, so that kind of is the next step. Like, what made you want to do that?
Like I said, it's been on the dream board for a while.
Yeah.
But then I think also just kind of going for it, like, well, now's good as time.
Right now, it's true. I love that. How do you plan your trips? Like, how far? Day trips, I feel like you could probably be more spontaneous, right?
Yeah, pretty spontaneous.
But when you're studying abroad or a longer trip, like, are you the type to plan ahead, like months ahead, a year ahead? Or are you the type to be like, oh, we're going to Japan in 2 weeks type of thing?
I would. I would do it. Not usually. Yeah.
Okay.
Our Japan trip, we planned maybe like 2 months in advance.
Oh, wow. I feel like that's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like having, things booked. But I like to plan, big things, and then we'll kind of go explore and be spontaneous once we get to those areas. So.
And that was going to be my next question. I feel like people travel differently. Let's call it what it is, right?
Yes.
Some people are the people that are so regimented, they have to have every minute of every day planned and all that. That's fine. Other people are just like, we're going to get there and see where the day takes us. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like you find that
depends what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So if you're going to, want to check off all your adventures on the bucket list, you got to plan to make that happen. But if you just want to escape and de-stress maybe, then, just see where it takes you.
I love it. Do you pack light? You probably are used to packing light.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't travel with more than a carry-on, and we've been,
to Japan too?
Oh, yeah.
How long were you there for?
18 days.
Have you done like a how to pack guide?
I need to.
You should. Yeah. That would be helpful. Yes. Do you do the packing cubes?
I do the packing cubes.
Okay.
I do the laundry in the sink thing.
Oh, what's that? Oh, you just do laundry in the sink?
Yeah.
Do you bring like a soap or something? Okay.
I have
like a pod or something? Okay. Okay, great. And limited on shoes, obviously. Yes. Comfort over fashion.
I think I can go.
You could go both ways.
And Japan, we ran into a little trouble because it started snowing and I didn't have, so we had to go buy some boots.
Snowing. Yeah. Minor detail.
Yeah. But, you figure it out when you get there.
You just figure it out. I know. I have some friends that were just in Italy and it was like pouring rain.
Yeah.
During they were like doing site visits for their wedding.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm like, bummer, but also you're in Italy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm sure there are worse places to be stuck in the rain, Okay. So do you roll your clothes in the cubes? Or do you fold them?
I fold them. Yeah.
You fold them?
Fold.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like the Jenga.
Yeah.
Smush it all in there. And sometimes I've done the like vacuum.
I've heard of this recently. Somebody said they take their pillow everywhere they go and they vacuum seal their pillow.
Wow.
And they said it gets very small, but it weighs like 3 pounds.
Wow.
I'm like, that's dedication.
That is dedication to your pillow.
You know what I mean? I'm like, what kind of pillow do you
Yeah, you're going to find pillows wherever you're going.
But it seems a little extra, but yeah.
Yeah.
They can't live without their pillow, apparently.
Wow.
Interesting. So you vacuum sealed stuff too?
It adds a lot of weight, I found. But
that's what I've heard, but they don't weigh your carry-on, right? Usually? Oh, they have.
They have before.
Wow.
That was tough, but.
Wow. Do you speak other languages?
No. I minored in French, so I speak.
Okay.
I feel like I can read and understand a little, but I don't speak it very well. And then my husband is fluent in Arabic. So
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he speaks a little bit of Japanese as well.
Wow. I'm always curious about that. Now they have so many cool like apps for translation and
that's
stuff.
What I rely on, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But so cool. I think if I didn't have anything to do, LOL, had all the time in the world, I would learn languages. I love learning languages. I don't have the time to invest in studying it, but I feel like I'm so intrigued by it.
Yes.
And my friends that are not from America, they're originally from Germany or Sweden.
They know like 7 languages. Yeah.
What is that about? How come we can't get on that train?
I don't know. I feel like they have a little advantage because they're so close to other
You're
people,
right.
whereas,
Maybe there's that, right? But literally both of them know at least 5 languages that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's wild. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And one of them is from Germany and only speaks German to his kids. His wife is American from Fresno. And so the thought is that they live in
raising bilingual. That's interesting.
I've never heard him
so
speak
one
English to kids.
Speaks. Okay.
He speaks German consistently.
Oh.
The whole time. And they understand it. And actually their son was a little delayed in coming to talk because that's a thing, supposedly. When you grow up in a dual language, bilingual household.
Oh, interesting.
Think about the little kid's mind processing all of that.
Double.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, he just starts spewing all these words. And they're like, wait, what?
That's cool.
Isn't it?
We'll have to keep that in mind.
It's super impressive. Yeah. Like we'll be at a kid's birthday party and he'll be just talking to the kids in German. And we're like, okay, they're committed. It's very impressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In hopes that I think obviously their kids are too.
I'm sure, it'll pay off down the road.
I would think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
That's amazing.
So I'm always curious, like the language thing, how you do that when you travel, but you have apps.
I do the app.
Yeah.
And luckily KO has known some languages, especially the places we've traveled. It's been helpful.
Yeah.
That he can just speak it. But the apps for sure.
Right.
I type in what I'm thinking and then it's just showing.
It's amazing. Or my dad was showing me something the other day where you put an app over a menu and it translates it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we did that. The Google Translate app does that.
Yeah.
Like you can take
for like a menu for dining out or what have you.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. Wild.
Gosh. Wow. So many things. I'm just so intrigued. How often do you travel? Do you do certain months or certain weeks out of the year or just whenever you feel inspired?
Travel, I feel like day trips and local things is like I'm filling the schedule. Like any free time, gonna go.
Amazing.
Do something.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a weekend trip, once a month, just kind of if there's like a holiday weekend or something like that.
Now, tell me about holiday. I feel like that's initially when I stumbled upon your page I think you did something with the Hanford ice skating rink. Does that sound right?
Yes. Yeah.
That was so cute.
Yes.
Never been there. It looks adorable.
It's so cute. And in the summer, you can take the train and get ice cream.
I don't know.
The same place. Yep.
So, holiday things. What come to mind? The ice skating rink? Anything else locally that you love and think locals should be doing?
There's lots of places to go ice skating. They have ice skating rink up in Hume. They have one in Yosemite Valley.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Tenaya Lodge, I think, has one too.
They have one too. Yeah. And then the Christmas trees, like in Sequoia, they'll do, decorate the
Oh, really?
Not the actual sequoia, but they'll decorate the trees around it. So
I didn't know that. That's cool.
it's cool.
Fun. So you kind of going back to the blog, I'm curious how you grew your social media following. Like it's impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's been a journey. I feel like at the beginning, I've been here doing this for 7 years, and it was just kind of talking to myself is what it felt like.
That,
yeah.
Right? I hear at the beginning, it's like, right?
It's like grown.
You're talking to yourself, but then not overnight, doesn't happen overnight, but all of a sudden you're not, right? So consistency.
And then I think finding not your niche, but like what you're passionate about. So for me, it was like Fresno and the day trips. And I'm like, hey, people didn't know about this.
I love it.
I have so many more I could tell you about. So I think that's kind of how people found me and how it kind of took off a little bit. So
I think so too. That's why I was like, who is this girl proudly repping Fresno?
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah. And like fighting people, like Fresno is good. I am not lying. Actually, not living here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How was the heat adjustment? Was it fine or not that bad?
Yeah.
I mean, I do too. I don't mind the heat.
I would rather be hot than cold. So Fresno is great for me.
Same.
Yeah. And you can like, go to the mountains, go to the beach, escape if you like really need an escape. But.
So cool. So how can people can follow along all of your travels on @Cassie's Compass on Instagram. You also have your blog, cassiescompass.com, right? Where people can read more about your travels.
More details there.
Guides.
Yes.
You have maps. Super cool. And for your group travel opportunity, how do they inquire and or book or get in touch with you on that? Is that on your website? Or will be on your website?
It'll also be linked on my Instagram, everything.
Oh, great. Love it. Yes, so cool. You mentioned a dream board earlier. Do you do that? Do you have like
my Pinterest?
Okay, Pinterest I love it.
Not like a physical one.
Yeah. What's on there that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Ooh, I think Argentina and Patagonia. That's really high on my list.
I have some friends that have done Patagonia and they loved it. It was like they said life changing.
Yeah.
I
would love to go. That's on my list.
You a hiker?
Yes, love to hike.
There you go. I feel like that's it.
Yep.
So do you have it planned yet, or are you just
No, it's just putting that out. Yeah. If you have like everywhere's on my list. I'll go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, but that's pretty high up there.
So cool. Cassie, this was so fun. Thank you for being here. I'm just like so intrigued by all that you're doing. I think it's so great that you're showing so much love to the Valley and helping us find the beauty in the simple things. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Feel free to rate and review this episode here and connect with us on Instagram if you have any thoughts, questions, or any guest suggestions. Thanks.